Hey guys, welcome. This is our Chapter 5 study guide, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Sketch each special triangle segment listed. Alright, median. A couple things to remember. A median goes from the vertex and it hits the middle of the opposite side. So that's the median. And if you were to get three medians, you would hit a centroid. If you guys recall, the E's match up. Okay? So, nice little helpful hint. Next, we have an altitude. An altitude goes from a vertex and it's perpendicular to the base. So there's a 90 degree. And if we have three altitudes, we get an orthocenter. And we see that the T's match up. Next is our perpendicular bisector. And for a perpendicular bisector, it doesn't have to go through a vertex, but it does have to be perpendicular and bisect. And this would be a circumcenter if we had three of them. And the R's match up. Last but not least, we have an angle bisector. An angle bisector just cuts the angle in half. And an angle bisector meets at, oh, what's that last one? An incenter, that is correct. Mr. Smith, I'm talking to myself now. I literally have no friends. Okay. And we see the end matches up. Which of the following may not contain a vertex of the triangle? If you look at all the ones above, they all have a vertex except for a perpendicular bisector. All right. Moving and grooving and grooving and moving. All right. Sometimes, always, or never. Focus. Yeah. Okay. Every triangle has three medians. That is always true. Do you always see them? No. But could they? Yes. So it's always. If AM is an altitude of ABC, then AM is also a median. Well, because you're an altitude doesn't make you a median, but you could be both. So that is actually sometimes true. Dun, 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 dun. Each leg of a right triangle is an altitude. Well, let's take a look. Hey, there's a right triangle. Vertex, perpendicular. Over here, vertex, perpendicular. That is always true. Bless myself. Three angle bisectors of a triangle intersect at a point outside the triangle. That's never going to happen. Sorry. Never going to happen. Okay? If you can check your book and it has all the information about that. Okay? Number 8, we get to some interesting problems here, and I have my trusty rusty highlighters, and they're going to help us. ABC is 75 degrees, so if we actually go ahead and start at A, B, C, so right there in the yellow, we have 75 degrees. So I'm going to just write 75 and put that in yellow. C is 40 degrees, which is given to us, and it says BP bisects ABC. PQ is an altitude. What is the measure of each angle? All right. PBC. Okay, let's find PBC. PBC. So PBC is right there. Well, we know that BP bisected the angle, so this angle is congruent to this angle. So we basically have to take 75 and divide it by 2. So 75 divided by 2 makes 37.5. That 3 kind of looks weird, but it's 37.5. Next, cab. 1 second, I gotta get some more highlights. Haha! More. Okay, cab. Let's find cab. Okay, so cab is CAB, so it's this angle right over here. And, well, if we know this is 75, that's 40, we can find this angle. I'm going to kind of just draw a quick sketch over here. CBA, this was 75, 40. We can go ahead and calculate this by using our trusty, rusty triangle angle sum theorem. So I'm going to do 40 plus 75. I'll show you what I'm doing. It's pretty cool. So I get 115, and I'm going to do 180 minus 115, and we get 65. So we get 65. And last but not least, it says BQA. BQA, where's that? BQA, so that's this angle right in there in green, kind of hard to see. But BQA is 90 degrees because it is an altitude. So we just know that we have 90 degrees. Boom. Haha. Genius. Look at all the colors, Luke. Look at all the colors. All right. Take a look at this problem here. EG is a median of DEF. What does X equal? Well, median means it breaks this into two congruent pieces. So I know that these are congruent. So this is equal to this. So let's go ahead and solve. And we get 8x minus 15 is equal to 3x plus 3. I'm going to go ahead and move the 3x over here to get 5x, and move the 17 over here to get 20. X equals 4. An altitude. Altitude means I'm going to have a 90 degrees somewhere. So altitude means this is going to be 90 degrees here on both sides. So that means 15y minus 30 should be equal to 90. Add the 90 over, I get 120. Divide by 15, and y is going to equal, let me just double check this in my calculator so I don't make a mistake. And I think that is right. We get y equals 8. Boom. Moving on, third page. This is a long video. All right, here we go. Aha. Look at these statements. These statements are fun. YW is an angle bisector. What do angle bisectors? They cut angles in half. Okay? So right up here, YW, that means this angle and this angle are congruent, so we go with B. YW is an altitude. YW is an altitude, which means this is a 90 degree right here, which means YWZ is a right angle. A median, that means W is now the midpoint of this segment, so XW and WZ are congruent. And if YW is a perpendicular bisector, that means it's perpendicular and it cuts the segment in half, so both A and B are correct. Moving on. That was quick. 14. Identify the largest angle. Well, which one of these is the largest? Well, x plus 5 is going to be bigger than x. It's also going to be bigger than that. So this is the largest. So the largest angle is opposite. So the answer is angle A. What is the longest side? Well, first I have to find out what the other angle is. So 65 plus 55, that's going to be, let's see, 70, 120. So this is 60 degrees. So the longest side is opposite the longest angle. So the biggest angle is 65. So our answer is CB, which is the name of my dog, Cuddlebug. Haha, awesome. All right. I'm pretty sure 16 I did in class with every student. So I'm going to do kind of the quick version of it, which is right here. We're going to go ahead and add up all the angles, set it equal to 180, solve and get x equals 40, plug it back in to get the angles, and then the largest angle is 85, so across from 85 is RS, across from 50 is ST, and the smallest is across from 45, which is RT. Okay, so there you go. Screenshot that or pause it if you need to get that down. But we went over that in class, so that's why I kind of did the short version. Yeah. Determine whether it's possible to draw a triangle with given sides. All right, I saw a lot of students do this problem A, and they did 2 plus 6. No, remember, always take the small ones. Okay, add the small. I'm going to write that. Add the small. Okay, add the small. So we get 2 plus 3 is bigger than 6. Is 5 bigger than 6? No. Okay, we're going to use pink for being bad. No. All right, do I add 4 and 6? No, I'm going to add 4 and 3 because they're the small. 4 plus 3 is bigger than 6. Is 7 bigger than 6? Yes. I'm going to use green for go. I would have used red, but pink's the closest thing I got to red, so there we go. Last but not least, 3 and 10 happen to be the first two, and they're the smallest. Wow, but we just care about being the smallest. Is 13 bigger than 13? No. You can't be bigger than yourself. I tell you all the time. Doesn't work. All right, number 18, two-parter. We have 7 to 10. Here's our shortcut secret. If you want to write this down. Greater than the difference. Okay? Oops, that I totally missed the mark. Less, oh gosh, that's an L. Less than the sum. Okay? So greater than the difference. 7 and 10, subtract them, you get 3. Add them, you get 17. So x is greater than 3, greater than the difference, and it's less than, x is less than the sum. Less than the sum. So all you're doing is adding and subtracting. So 6 and 12, subtract them, you get 6. Add them, you get 18, you're done. And these are the same numbers. I'm just writing in old ones. Alrighty, next page. Okay, here we go. Using the diagram below, name the segment that represents the shortest distance from B to C. Remember, the shortest distance from B to C is a perpendicular segment. Wow. Yes, it is. So BE is our shortest distance, and it represents what? An altitude. Okay? It's an altitude. It goes from a vertex perpendicular to the base. It's not a perpendicular bisector, because E does not bisect AC, that I know of. But it is an altitude. F is the midpoint. BF is blank what? Well, if F is the midpoint, and it goes from vertex to the midpoint, that's definitely a median. Gots to be. Okay, let's move it and groove it. Question 20. Using some awesome math here. TU or UV. Well, which angle is bigger, 40 or 30? 40 is bigger. So which is the bigger? TU. So we can actually write an equation. I could literally write 40. Right? We know is greater than 30. Thus, TU is greater than UV. Okay? So I just put the greater sign. Boom. Simple. Next one, shortest side. Yeah, you always got to make sure we're doing this right. Shortest side. Well, 59 shorter, so the shortest side is AD. Simple. Easy. Okay. 22. Okay, gotta get serious here now. DBC, where are you? How do I find DBC? I did this in class on some of the classes, but we go from D to B to C. All right? So where's the angle? Right there. What's it opposite from? 20. Let's try ADB in blue. A. Oh, going in the wrong way. Holy cow, that was embarrassing. Let's not use, well, we got to use blue now. A, D, B. Messed up. Let's just ignore this part right here like it didn't even happen. See? It's not even there. You can't even see it. Across from ADB is 21. Which one's bigger? Ding, 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 21. So which is the bigger? ADB. Bigger angle. Opposite, bigger side. All right. Number 23, identify the largest angle. 15 is the largest side. Opposite is C. Okay. Ooh, more coloring. Yay. PAL. 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 ALR. ALR. Which one is bigger? Well, you tell me. 5 or 6? I'm going with 6. It is the bigger angle. Back page, brother. Okay, here we go. We got 70, we got 60. We got to find the other angle so we don't make a mistake. It says longest side. 70 plus 60, 130. So we got 50. So it doesn't even matter. Opposite 70 is BC. Brilliant. Next over here, PA or LR. Well, we got 45 or we got 50. I'm going with the 50, so PA. You got my attention. All right, 25, great question. Midsegments. Let's fill in our information. EN is 22. OG, the original, 43. And then RE is 18. RA. How am I going to find this segment here? Okay. Well, remember, mid-segment. And we're going to get colorful here. EN is matched up with OA. So the whole segment of OA is 44. And remember, if R is the midpoint, these are two congruent pieces, so we just divide in half. So RA is actually 22. Pretty cool. GA. Okay, well, GA is going to match up with RE. And if RE is 18, we double it. Remember, we got Kevin Hart, The Rock. The Rock is twice the size of Kevin Hart. So 36 is that distance there. Last but not least, RN. Okay, RN's right here. And its base is right down here. Here's the rock. So what's half of 43? Half of 43 is going to be 21.5. And we're feeling good. REO? REO is easy. It was given to us. 39 degrees. I don't even have to highlight that. ERN. ERN. It's this angle right in here in yellow. I know, we're getting all crazy colors. What is that congruent to? Well, you guys remember, the pink lines are parallel, which means these two yellow that I just marked are alternate interior angles, AIA. So they're congruent, 39 degrees. Okay? 25, last big problem, I would say. We had two 25s, crazy, I know. We have a lot of altitudes. This one's kind of tricky. I'd say this is probably one of the harder problems on here. So let's go ahead and get to it. DF, DE, and AD, they're all altitudes. Okay, which means they create 90 degrees. This is going to be helpful. Angle 1, can't find it yet. Angle 2, can't find it yet. Angle 3, don't know it yet. Angle 4, I do know. That is 90 degrees. And the reason why I know that is because ED is an altitude. Okay, well, if this is 90, guess what this angle right here is? It's also 90 degrees, which means I now have a triangle where I have two angles. Can I find the third angle? You bet it, I can find it. Okay, let's get our calculator out. All right, so we're going to do 90, start over again. 90 plus 38, those are the two angles I have, gives me 128. I'm going to take 180 and subtract 128. When I do this, I get 52. So that's what the third angle is, using the third angles theorem. So that's 52. Now you're like, Mr. Smith, that didn't help because I'm not finding any of those angles that I can tell. But what it does help is AD forms a 90. So I can actually kind of make this little blue box right here. This is actually 90 degrees right there. So if one's 52, we can, or sorry, that bottom part's 52. If I do 90 minus the 52 degrees, we should get angle 1, which is going to be 38. So we just figured out that that's 38. Ain't that special? Now we have a second triangle with 90, 38. We can find angle 3. But do you realize we're using the same numbers as the triangle down here? 90, 38, 52. This is 90, 38. What do you think 3 is going to be? That's right, 52 degrees. Okay? We look over here. 6 is going to be 90 degrees as well, because that's on DF, which is an altitude. Okay? Well, here's the crazy part. And this was kind of confusing, but what's the shortest distance between a point and a line? Perpendicular segment. Okay, we actually have two congruent segments, ED and DF, which means these two angles up here are going to be congruent. This is the converse of the angle bisector theorem. So 3 and 5 are congruent. So whatever 3 was, 52, is also equal to 5, which is going to be 52. So we got 52 and 52. And if this is 90, then angle 2 is also going to be 38. Everything's kind of starting to fall in place. Angle B, well, if this is 90, we can find this is 52. This is also going to be 38. It's kind of like a mirror image, this side to this side. EDF. Now we gotta get into some color territory here. I already used blue, so I don't want to use that one again. EDF. EDF. We just gotta add 38 plus 38, and I don't want to make a mistake here, on national television. And we get 76 degrees. So we just added those two together, 38 plus 38. I'll just show you how I did it. ADB. Let's see here. ADB. Well, that's just 90 degrees because we knew that was perpendicular or in altitude. So that's 90 degrees. That one was easy. And let's go with a little a little purple. Boom. EAF. It's getting messy. Let's see here. EAF. So EAF is the big angle, so we're basically adding 52 and 52 together, which gives us 104. All right. That's a crazy problem. Crazy fun. Yes. All right. Let's look at 26, and then I'll just explain these, and we'll be out of here. BD is an angle bisector, so we actually know that these two angles are congruent. So we're going to set them equal to each other. 7x minus 8 equals 6x plus 9. Add the 8 over. Subtract the 6x. You get x equals, what, 17? I'm going to tell you right now, this is a bad problem. Good experience, but bad problem because it has a bad answer. When we plug 17 in to find this angle, ABC, the major angle, right? ABC is A, B, and C. Well, we plug this in, we're going to get 7 times 17 minus 8. And I have my calculator out, so let's go ahead and do it. 7 times 17 minus 8. We get 111, which means this is also 111, which means if you add them together, you get 222. And we know this is a problem because guess what? A triangle can't have an angle bigger than 180 because it's the whole thing. So algebraically, that's our answer. Geometrically, we'd probably say that's not correct, but I'm sorry. That was a typo on my part. 27, our final problem. Explain each of these. A median goes from a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. Altitude, vertex, and it's perpendicular to the opposite side. Perpendicular bisector, perpendicular, and it cuts the segment into two separate parts. No vertex. And 4, angle bisector, cuts an angle in two. Alright guys, that is all. Have a lovely time. I hope you guys study a lot, know everything that you possibly can. And here's a little motivation from Captain Phasma saying, "You can do it, yes, ha 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 ha." Okay? So, live on. And peace out. Home slice.